Today I'm going to show you how to change out your motor in your Department 56 Christmas candy mill. This is probably about the 9th or 10th one of these I have worked on. And I'll tell you what the biggest, most common mistake is. Ooh, nice, I like the other band. When I see that it says, first we're going to diagnose this. I'll guarantee it's the motor, because it's always the motor. Oh, nice. It has the candy mill sign with it. Nice. If it doesn't, you can buy it on Department 56 for... I'm going to show you actually two things. How to change the band, this band, and how to change the motor out. And because they do not make an exact 12-volt motor to replace this one, I'm going to include in the link the closest thing to it, which is, if it is the motor, it will be this size. And this Christmas candy mill, I believe, goes clockwise, I believe. And it's hard to find a TYC or TYD size 40, not 50, not 30, but a size 40 that goes clockwise or whichever version, clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever version this one is. This has everything. It has the shaft length or close to the shaft length. It has the same motor size. The original one, this one is 2.5 watts or 3 watts. This motor's 2 to 3 watts. 5 to 6 revolutions per minute, because that is most of Department 56's motors are 5 to 6 revolutions per minute. It's hard to find all those things, 50 to 60 hertz, which is like all of these synchronous motors. But yeah, this one, you can get a 2-pack for like $12.99 on Shmamazon or on eBay. First things first. So let's show you how to change this band, and let's show you a little trick with this band if you do not have a replacement band. HappyHolidaysParts.com does have a replacement band for it, which is awesome. Let me adjust this down a little bit. Alright. So if you watched my sledding video, I do this on top of my washing machine. This is my work area, unfortunately. Let's first test this bad boy. What I saw in the listing was, nice, it's got the light bulb and everything. What I saw in the listing is it says motor hums, but windmill doesn't turn, and that's usually what I look for. I plug it in and it turns on. I hear it making a sound, but the windmill doesn't turn. If it's just the band, that's an easy fix. It's a really easy fix. Happy Holidays Parts, I think it's $12 or $15. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. So you'll know if it's working. That's how it should look. You'll know if it's working because when you go to plug this in, if the windmill turns, which can be really quiet. You have that little clicking sound? That's the motor trying to turn. I guarantee you I forget what's called, the master gear or the main gear or something like that is stripped in there. The shaft is probably broken loose from that. So yeah, it just needs a new motor. Now, like I said, the replacement motor of this, they don't have one on Happy Holidays Parts, or else I would get it. They don't have one that matches this. They don't have one that goes whatever direction this one is. We'll find out. I forget, clockwise, counterclockwise. So I have been having to use this motor, and it works. The only bad thing, which is not a bad thing for this particular one, is because it's AC, alternating current. One time you turn it on and the windmill is going to go this way. Next time you turn on it, it's going to go this way. Now that's not a big deal for this. It's not a big deal for this. If we were doing, let me zoom out a little bit, there, much better. If we were doing like the Department 56 Village Animated Skating Pond, then that matters. You don't want your skaters going backwards, because that's what happens if you get the wrong, if it's supposed to be clockwise, but you got counterclockwise. So anyways, to change this rubber band, real simple. There's a pin here on the candy cane. See that? Grab a pair of needle nose pliers and just pull. Let's try that again. And just pull. Voila. That's it. See, little pin. This candy cane thing comes out. But voila. Get your new band, put it on there. So if your windmill turns, all you need is the new band. Easy fix. If you cannot go on happyholidayparts.com, you can find a big rubber band on Amazon. Like one of those big, I'll show you what I mean. Pause this. Alright, so I apologize. I thought I had a band. I do not. I don't have one this size. What did I just do with this belt? Okay, so yeah, this is a belt, not a rubber band. This one is still good. Still has a little bit of elasticity, but it doesn't have any spot where it's like been stored in the heat and the cold and the heat and the cold. It's been expanding, contracting, something like that, and it's like stuck in this weird position, or it's cracked. It's usually what happens with these. The belt is cracked. Anyways, go on happyholidayparts.com. Guy, small business. He's done the work. He or she has done the work for you so that you don't have to. You don't have to find what kind of motor it is. They repair the stuff if you don't want to mess with it. But for this, you do need a belt. Ooh, okay. Now we're running into a new problem. There we go. Sometimes this doesn't turn. We just need a little little WD-40 action in there. This thing was, when was this manufactured? 2003. So it's 21 years old after this video. So even though it's been displayed, it's still it's 21 years old. So of course the motor's gonna die. Or the gear is gonna break off. Pro tip, remember that pin that you took out and the candy cane? Put all your parts in a baggie or something, or somewhere where you're not going to lose them. And out of your way. Because when you're messing with these and you're repairing these things, there's a lot of pulling, a lot of small spaces, and things tend to go flying. This is another common thing, easy fix. The sticker, this is a sticker. Some adhesive, I don't know, it could be glued on there. But that happens a lot too. Just get a little super glue and glue that back on. But you need this to be flowing easily. You need this thing turning. If it's not turning, you are SOL. Because then the whole point of getting that band is like pointless, right? Let that work its way down in there. some kind of grease that they put on that doesn't, I don't know, I've had this problem on like 3 of them. This thing right here not turning well. I've had to fix it, and it's a pain in the butt. This is just glued on to here, not this thing. This whole little shaft thing is glued onto here. So be careful trying to work this off, because you will break the whole thing off, and then your candy cane thing is almost useless. But anyways, let's get to the real repair while that's working itself in there. Let's get to the motor, the most common problem. I say that and then I hit another shot of WD-40 on there. I'm using gravity here to let the WD-40, oh, there we go, much better. To let the WD-40 work itself into the crevice of this, turn it both ways. Alright, let's let that do its magic. Alright, save that for later. So aside from the motor, we're going to need a very, very hot blow dryer, or a heat gun, heat pen, whatever you call it. Some call it a heat gun, some call it a heat pen. If you have a soldering iron, great, but some method to splice some wires together, because you're going to use this old adapter right here. This female adapter right here is attached to the motor inside there. Now, I've done this 2 ways. So inside here, let's see if you can see. Yeah. Inside there, the motor is sitting like this, but it has a harness on it, a plastic harness. And I've seen actually 2 different methods that they've made this for. I've seen this top right here is total porcelain, and it is plastic. So I'm guessing that is plastic. Alright, that's the second one that is plastic, which means the harness that's inside there, yes, I know this harness very well. I love this harness. This harness is so much easier to work with than the other harness. But anyways, here's what we're going to do. We're going to heat it up, okay, on the edges right here, on low, around the edges, and we're trying to break the seal of whatever glue that they used, or resin, which is a pain in the butt, that they used. But I believe if it's plastic, they're just using some kind of, like, it's not quite resin, it's a little less strong than resin, and it's a little stickier than hot glue. Does the job. So, a little bit at a time. And I should be wearing a glove right now because I want to cut a little bit away, pry up. Now there's 2 methods to doing this, so we don't cut ourselves. Alright. If you have the other, let's do this method. Okay, this is the method I first did. Heat it up from the inside. Okay, it evenly heated everything, but this is the part you got to be careful about, because that harness, like I said, is plastic, and you do not want to damage that. See how little I just did that for? Once you mess with that harness, once you damage that harness by overheating it and it melts and or warps, it's a pain in the butt to get that motor to like make a fake harness, a makeshift harness. So you want to try and salvage that harness as best as possible. Pro tip. A little bit at a time, going low. Even if your thing has 2 settings, and you can do high. Start on low. You're trying to get under, and you're trying to cut and pry up. Cut, glue away, and pry up. So you got to get under. Okay, I can feel it's hot. Yeah, I'll bet you this top is plastic and not. Aiming this towards the back. Not directly in it, but towards the back, because I don't want to melt that harness. There, I can get my knife under there. I feel it. It wants to go. Put it towards the back or the front, but not directly straight on, because again, we're not trying to melt the harness. I can't stress that enough. And a little bit at a time. Don't get anxious. Don't get impatient. You're just trying to break loose the connection, the seal. If I were smart right now, I'd be wearing gloves to protect my hands, but I'm being extra careful. This razor knife is sharp, and I have done it before, where it has slipped and I've cut myself, and you don't feel the cut until a few seconds after. Sometimes it's on there with just a little bit of glue. Sometimes you have to use 10 times, which is better than 10 short times on little. Let me get my blade down in there. Alright, for this last one, I'm going to do the edges and the inside a little bit. Mainly the edges. The outside edges. Oh, okay. That's a first. See that? Okay. Now let's see if we can cut. Try and get my knife in there. Yeah. So what just happened there? There we go. Because the shaft is plastic, I do believe. Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. That shaft has a screw tip to it. Like a threaded tip. And I wish I wouldn't have broken it off like that. Hindsight's 2020. I would have probably recommended so little by little I'm cutting and I'm prying, cutting and I'm prying. So close. See the big fat gap right there? They really sealed this sucker. By the way, I've tried making this video about 4 times now. And every time a new challenge happens. And all I was trying to do is change the motor out. In each scenario, something new happened. Some new pain in the butt, Murphy's Law. Whatever could go wrong did go wrong. Alright, there we go. So, get all this glue up. Wow, this big, thick bead of glue. It's like hot glue / resin, I don't know. But all we're going to use is hot glue to put that back on there. Because we don't need much. So, try and clear as much glue from that as possible. Whatever kind of glue it is, resin, hot glue. Alright, we need to take this little red thing off right here. This little red thing is a screw. Not a screw. It's like a, that's what I'm looking for, a bolt. And basically it has a threading on here. And the shaft that, well, you can't see it, but the shaft had a threading that this just went onto, and then you screw the little red cap on. But, alright, here was the point of failure, right there. See how I can stick the shaft broke, right there. Shaft broke. Shaft broke. You know what, let's test the motor. Let's see. Not that I could fix the shaft, but let's test the motor and see if it still turns. doesn't turn. If I was really lazy, which I'm not going to do, I would just try and glue that shaft back together, but... Oh yeah, it turns. It turns. So that means the motor is good, but the shaft, usually the gear inside the motor is... Wow. Alright. So, motor is still good, but the shaft is not. So that does me absolutely no good. Doesn't help me one bit. Alright, I'm done with my heat gun. I can unplug that, heat pin, whatever you want to call it. Got a really nice blow dryer, really hot blow dryer. Okay, so anyways, let's get back to this part right here. I need to pry this thing off. This little red button right here. It's on there with glue, and it's also screwed on. But it's glue or paint, so I just want to cut the paint glue seal, whatever you want to call it, so that it all looks like it's one piece. It's really not. It's a separate piece. And it is metal. Now I'm going to get some kind of strong pliers. Oh, there we go. That's it. Oh gosh, that's going to be a pain in the butt. Because the threading it broke off inside of there. I hope I don't have to drill that out. If that's metal, that is really crappy metal. Let's see. Alright, so anyway, the motor is clockwise. Yeah, so it's clockwise, AC 12 volts, 2.5 watts, 5 to 6 revolutions per minute. So, if you can find one, 5 to 6 revolution per minute, AC 12 volt, clockwise, but good luck with the clockwise part. Anyways, this is like, we need this little thing. It's more than just a decorative piece. I would like to get it unthreaded. I have a feeling I'm going to have to drill that out, which is not going to be fun. This part is metal. This part is plastic. I mean, the whole thing just disintegrated in there, whatever this is, plastic or metal. But I need to pop this out from here. Because I mean, every time I have tried to repair this or make a video, something always happens. Something. So if it's going clockwise, the threading is going counterclockwise. Alright, so I'm definitely going to have to drill that out too. And that out. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Alright, into the motor part. So right here, try and get this gunk off of your harness. No. If you don't have this harness, there's another kind of harness where there's a screw right here and just this little kind of the same concept, but like this clip that goes down in there and it kind of catches underneath each side here, and you turn the screw to pull this little harness thing up this way until it kind of gets tight and secure. And you don't need it super tight, but you don't need it super tight. You just need it tight enough. Now let's see, this is I need to get access to these screws right here because I need to unscrew these. So I'm gonna heat that up and then just try and get some of the glue out from these Phillip head screw heads. So don't undo your heat pen yet. So where you want your small screwdriver set, something like Strebito. This thing is awesome. I use this every fix. Has every kind of head that I possibly need. Weird heads, good for phone repair, cell phone battery repair. A whole bunch of just weird heads that you can't find anywhere, but they use in cell phones, interestingly enough. Okay, so can I get that down in there to unscrew? No. All right, so let me heat that up. Just trying to heat that stuff up to loosen it so I can, there we go, unscrew. The thing I like about this Strebito thing, it's like 20 bucks, 22 bucks, something like that. And watch this. Magnets. So you don't want to lose your screws. Look, they stay right there. Put them on the little magnet thing. That's just one of the few cool things that it does. Alright, so we got the first screw out. Heat up the next one. Just trying to loosen it from very confident with my razor knife and how I use it. If you are not, don't do it. You'll cut yourself very easily. Okay, and screw number 2, done. Let's put that on the magnet, or put it in the baggie somewhere so it doesn't get lost. Okay, so anyways, that's how that works. It holds the motor in place. Now, what you will notice about this old motor plastic is it doesn't have any mounting holes. Same size, right? Same size, but no mounting holes. So I'm gonna get rid of these. I'm gonna cut these bad boys off. Use what you have, bolt cutters. If it's the ceramic one, you don't have to do that. You can just bend these up using like pliers or something. If you don't have anything to cut, you can just use like channel lock pliers and work them back and forth until it weakens. So what I like to use, oh, there goes my heat gun, is, I'll show you. Combination of the two. So I've got these called bolt cutters, lock cutters, small pair. So I'm just making a dent in there. It didn't cut through it. And now see what I mean? It just fails, it just bends off. So this time I'm not going to use the bolt cutters. I'm just going to and look, that was even faster. Wow, didn't even have to do that. Try and get this extra junk off there, the extra little pieces. Super easy. Oh. I'll remember that for next time. All I need is the channel lock pliers. Alright, so look, we got it matching. So this shaft used to look like this, but it had a threaded screw on the end of it for this thing to screw onto. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a screw that will fit in here, okay, and then that I can turn this onto. And because we don't have a motor that is clockwise only, yeah, like this one is, that's what you're trying to replace. See that? See all those specs? Come on, focus camera, focus. Because we don't have one that's clockwise, I'm going to have to use glue when I put the screw in there. This way, when it turns on and it rotates one way and then it rotates the other way, it doesn't like unscrew this little cap thing. So that's going to be the purpose of the glue, the only purpose of the glue. Alrighty, let's get, well, let's show you kind of how this is going to happen. This is the easy part. Well, kind of, sort of. Now we need to get the old shaft out of here, the one that broke off. Get some pliers and just work it out. There's a like harness thingy in here. Okay, I just pulled it out. Pay close attention to how that harness thingy was. Before you pull it out, I would actually recommend make a little like dot at the bottom of this thing so that you know that dot is down, you know, because this is how it was, like this. Yeah. And I think because this thing wasn't situated properly, it wasn't at the right angle. But if you notice, the top of this thing goes at this forward slope like that, right? Well, this thing that I'm about to pull out, when you put it back in there over the new one, make sure it's at this forward slope also. I don't know if you could see that. See the edge of the shaft, and this harness thingy kind of goes that way. All right, here's what's going to happen. Here's the old shaft. It just fits in there. New shaft. And oh yes, this is bringing back memories real fast. So this little copper thing, this little piece right here, that's a very tight fit. Very, very tight fit. If I remember correctly, well, first things first. Oh, yeah. All right. Hold on, before I do that part. I need some kind of, like, cutting pliers that can cut through this plastic, because I need to make that a little bit bigger. I'll show you what I mean. This doesn't fit in there. For now, it fits this way, but the shaft itself, this little white part is wider than the old shaft was. So it's not going to go down in there. So this is just plastic. All I'm going to do is cut a little bit away on each side, like so. Don't cut too much, just literally go like a millimeter from the left and a millimeter now from the right. Because the good thing about this shaft is it's already lined up. Everything is lined up for you. Now, that wasn't big enough, so let's do another millimeter from the left and a millimeter from the right. Let's see, does that fit in there? Oh, it's close. It's close. See how it's getting in there? It's close. So we want, yeah, it's still not in there enough. I gotta go a little bit more, just a little bit more. Making it, so I made it a little wider at first, now I'm making it just a little deeper, literally like 2 millimeters at most. I'm just chomping away little sections. I'm not going from the sides are fine, I'm going from the depth. Gosh, still not wide enough. Still not wide enough. That should be perfect. Should be. We'll see. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Now, you see how much space we have at the top and like barely space at the bottom? That's what we need this other thing for. So, I remember correctly, this was a very tight fit. What I'm going to try and do is, there's a metal, it's like copper piece right here, and it's hooked onto this plastic, I want to get the copper out, and I want to keep the plastic but not the copper. So I'm just, see that? All I do is pull it out. That's it. Hold on to this, get rid of it, I don't care. We don't need that. Aha. Now we've got it. Okay, and that's the bottom. All right, so now, you see that? Now we're shaking. Now we're shaking big. All right, now that I got that in there, I could, but I'm not going to. I could put the top of the harness back on, but I'm not going to because, by the way, you see the back over here? Right there, these two things, make sure that they're lined up with the harness also. There we go, before you put that top back on. Alright, pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this so far. I'm pretty happy. Alright, now it's drill time. This never happened where it failed and I had to drill this out. Pain in the butt. So this is the first time I've had this problem. Alright, so I have my drill and I have what is it called, tap out screw or tap out bits or drill out bits or something like that. I need to hold this, so I probably want to use some kind of vice grips or something. But right now I'm being lazy. So hold it. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is where a nice like vice would be really handy right now. I do have vice grips, I'm just being extra lazy right now. Okay. You know what? Is metal. That's like, but it's like a really, it doesn't feel like aluminum. It kind of has the consistency of lead and like the weakness of lead, but maybe it, I don't know. All right, let me get some actual drill bits and not these tap out things. I don't think they're gonna work too well. And a vice grip. Alright, so we don't need the house right now. I don't need to bump that. Put that out of the way. Get my stupid tap out things out. See if I can just drill There we go. All right. So that's kind of locked in place right now. Jeez, really? Okay. I don't know if they were cheap. There we go. Okay, you only have one set of eyes here, and there's metal shavings going everywhere, so this would be a perfect time for glasses. Some kind of eyewear of any kind, just to protect. Trying not to mess with the threading. I'm trying to drill directly in the middle of this. So far, so good. A little bit of time. Out. Can't believe the sucker's in there. Gosh, they must have glued. Wow, they must have glued that on there also. So I appear to have some of the threading. Yeah. Alright, I appear to have some of the threading. Very good. Very, very good. So I got most of whatever that screw was, or the last little bit of that screw was. Yeah. Alright, awesome. There is a little washer on top of here also. that aside. Now let's drill out the this part is not threaded, so it doesn't matter. Should be able to, in theory, just punch that out. If I had like a drill press, oh gosh, be in heaven. Ooh. Okay. There we go. Wow. Oh, of course. Oh yeah, tons of glue. That sucker's glued. I have not seen this much glue on this part, but then again, I have only repaired 2 of, so this is like my 9th or 10th house like this, the Christmas candy mill, but it's only the second one where it has the plastic top. Usually it has the ceramic top to it, and it has a different harness, motor harness to it. That's why you want to put your small parts into a plastic bag, because you're going to constantly drop stuff like I just did. Come on, this part's plastic. I don't want to make loosen up, you metal. Wow. That sucker is glued. See, that is the back side. I don't care what the back side looks like. That's the front side. Okay, so back side. Do not care. I get it? Yes. Oh my gosh. What a pain in the butt. Okay. All right. So now, this you will glue back onto here. Okay. Just little super glue, crazy glue will do just fine. Now what we're trying to do, okay, is this will fit right in there nice and snug. Okay, we want it to fit kind of on the, we want the outside of this shaft to fit snugly inside here. So we might have to make a little bit bigger of a hole. Use my little tap out thingy. And snugly. Close, but not enough. Not yet. Okay, gotta go next notch up. Tack this from the back, not the front. Oops, wrong head. There we go. Okay, that's kind of what we're looking for. See how it's on there kind of snug? Alright, we don't want it too loose. So now really the only thing that's going to keep this on there tighter than this is going to be when we put a screw through here. Okay, and I'm going to chop it off. I'm going to get a long screw, and I don't know if you can see, but you see the threads, those threads right there through here. So it's going to be on there, and the hardest part is we don't want this wonky. We don't want this where it's, as it turns and it starts to go like this, or it starts to go like that. That's the hard part. We want to make sure it's nice and straight as it's turning, because if not, it'll hit up against the house and stuff like that, and it just looks kind of cheesy. But now, hopefully you're getting the idea. I'm going to get a screw, a long screw that I can go inside there, and at the other end I can screw it on with that, because that is a, what is that called? A not a washer, a bolt. That is a bolt. Decorative bolt, but it's still a bolt. And I'm gonna glue that sucker on there. Alright, I am confident with this, so I'm going to put this back on here. The harness. That's good. That looks straight. Are you catching, Mr. Screw? I don't think you're catching. That's nice. That was nice. I just broke the top of that off. It's an easy fix. A little glue. A little super glue. Literally a dab of glue. Never had that happen before. What's the difference between the plastic top and the ceramic top? Okay, good. Alright, we got one side on there, nice. Now let's find the other screw, which should be on my magnets. Yes, they are. One side of the harness in there, on there. Back the one side out. There we go. Right. Beautiful. So both sides now. Are in there nice and snug. So now, just to give you an idea, a preview. Ooh, okay, I forgot. Good thing about this is it comes with the screws right here. That's what I forgot. All right, so do we see that right there? So this screw already fits in here, which is awesome. I want to clip this head off. Okay, because I want it to fit through there, if I can, as much as possible. Now, if I remember correctly, this is an M3 or M4 type of screw or size of screw head. And I don't think, yeah, I don't think this screw that came with this is long enough, so I had bought some screws at one point. Just to give you an idea of, again, what's going on here. So this is what I'm going to do with my long screw. And what was going to happen? So the head went flying, but the screw stayed here. Which is what always happens. Where are we? Okay. So I just took that head off, so I don't want to put this too far in there. But you can get the idea. Now if you notice, it's not going through there enough because the screw is not long enough. But I want to get a screw that is about twice that length because I want it to poke through the other side right here so I can screw that not just decorative bolt on there, but that bolt on there. Yeah? Understand what I'm saying? So, anyways, right now, before we do too much to this motor, let's make sure this motor works. Let's test this bad boy. Should, but I don't want to get it all together and then find out it doesn't work. I would be really mad at that. Really, really mad at that. Doesn't matter which side goes to which because this is alternating current. So one time I turn this on, it's going to go one way. Next time I turn it on, it's going to go the other way. That's the problem with these, a lot of these motors that were specific to clockwise, counterclockwise, and now they make a lot of them that just go one direction or the other. Let's use this wire harness. I think they started making them clockwise and counterclockwise where it goes in both directions because maybe they were failing too much when it would just go clockwise. I don't mean Department 56, I mean whoever makes these motors. But bad thing is, I mean, if you ordered, I'm sure, what, 500 of them at a time at least, you could probably get 500 of them that special ordered. I don't know what the real amount is, but I'm sure it's something like that. Okay. And now we're going to put our adapter back in the power. And voila. So as you see, it's turning. And now, that's what's going to happen. Now, okay, so here's a good example of if it doesn't lay on there the right way. I'll show you from that angle. Notice how it's spinning. So you want to make sure it lays on there perfectly before you screw it on there, nice and tight. Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean, gentlemen? Alright. It's getting late, so I'm going to do a part 2 of this tomorrow. To be continued.